Amatsu, and what could I expect to experience if I was coming for a treatment with you?
Okay, well, how long have you got? That's the thing.
I will listen as long as it takes.
Amatsu is an amazing therapy. I have been a therapist for about 18 years, but I came across Amatsu probably about 7 years ago, and it's a truly dynamic therapy. It's an ancient Japanese physical therapy that works over the entire body, and because it works globally in your body, it sorts out so many physical problems from sort of muscular level right down to a cellular level. So that's a big thought there.
Right. And if I come to you, what happens when I come for a treatment?
Okay, I would do a full medical consultation. It's very important that you tell us everything, that we know exactly what we're working with in terms of your body. Right. Even from I tripped over when I was a little girl and broke my ankle. That's important to us because muscles have memory, believe it or not.
Right.
And you might have broken a leg, but you might not have healed your leg. So one of the things that we do is actually heal the muscles from breaks from maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago. So you come along to see me, I do a medical consultation, and then you're fully clothed, you lie down on the couch, and I would do an assessment on your body and find out exactly, you would tell me what was wrong, but I would also identify lots of other things.
And how are you knowing that there's a problem?
It's a really good question. We do muscle tests all the time to verify what we're doing.
Because I had Amatsu.
Oh yeah.
And is this the shaking thing? Or?
You use a positive arm muscle test, yes. So if I was going to test a digestive valve, you'd be lying on the couch with your, this might look a bit strange, your arm up in the air.
Yes.
And I would test it. And if it tested weak, then I'd know there's a weakness in your body. And
I have to wonder what she was doing.
Kinesiologists do the same thing. They use a positive arm test.
That what it was.
Yeah. So the treatment would last about 40 minutes. You'd be front, back, on your sides, some cranial work as well. And when you finish, you would feel, most people generally feel a lightness in their body, and they feel a lot straighter. I mean, particularly people in their, how should we put it, 60 plus, it makes a huge difference to them. I was working with a lovely 92-year-old lady on a Thursday, and she sort of came in, she was all crooked, and when she went out she was straighter, her back was straighter, and she felt, she said she felt 20 years younger. So how amazing is that?
I'm still not sure exactly how it's happening.
No, I know. It's really difficult to describe, but we use a mixture of palpation, which is working on your body to find out where there are problem areas. We obviously do back those up with muscle tests. I would then slowly go into your, I don't know if you can see this on the web camera, but I would slowly go into your body. Because, for example, if you've got a problem with your elbow, I might be working in your thumb, massaging your thumb area, digging out problems. I might be working up in your neck, because it may well be that you've got a vertebral out of alignment, a vertebral out of alignment in your neck that then is pulling on your shoulder muscles, that's then going all the way down into your wrist and into your thumb. So we would work globally for one area. So I'd work on the problem area and around it as well, using a number of different techniques. A lot of people have problems with their hamstrings. Maybe not stretching out properly through exercise routines, sitting down all day, sitting in cars driving, accelerating, braking, and the hamstrings get really tight, and then the hamstrings then pull down on your lower back, and a lot of people have lower back issues. Hello?
Well, that's why treatment. Yes, I shall have to. Yes, I shall have to come back. And how can we? Is it a therapy that you do need to keep coming back to occasionally? If you've got a particular problem like lower back, because it gets on lots of people, it comes and goes, doesn't it? Do you think it's, or can you actually be done with certain types of problems?
We don't want to see everyone, all the same people every week, because to be honest, I think if we've got people coming back, the same people every week, they're going to be thinking, is she doing her job properly if it's not getting rid of the root cause? And certainly...
Well, they don't question doctors like that, I have to say.
No, they don't.
You know,
that's true.
It's true,
yeah,
I'm afraid.
We see people quite frequently who've been to other therapists, and I always say to people, Amatsu is an alternative to the physiotherapist or the chiropractor or the osteopath.
Right.
But we tend to do a lot more. We have to be very careful about what you're claiming you can deliver and you can't deliver.
I understand.
But typically we would get to the root cause of the problem. So it could be you did dive into that swimming pool which didn't have much water in and you bashed your head when you were 10. But you've always had terrible neck problem ever since, and you've had recurring problems. So through going through our comprehensive medical consultation,
we pick up
lots of stuff. But we'd also, when you're actually working and palpating on someone, I say, did you ever have an accident? You know, your neck seems a bit jammed into your head seems a bit jammed onto your neck, and then you say, oh yes, I did have that accident. And so we would get to the root cause, actually take out and rebalance that injury point, so that then a lot of the other problems may well disappear because you've got to the root cause of the problem, so you don't need to keep coming back. Always recommend that people come for maintenance, regular maintenance for realignment. Just keep your body moving nicely. We service our cars, but we don't service our bodies.
It is true. And how do you actually get qualified in Amatsu?
Amatsu, to learn it, takes about 2 years.
Wow. Is that full-time study?
No, part-time study.
Yeah.
There's about 5 4-day study weekends, which are absolutely brilliant, and it's a great community and camaraderie when you're learning Amatsu. My clinic partner, Jane Langston, runs the Amatsu training school, and they've got the most lovely venue, which is an old farm in Loudwater near the M25, or respectable difference in the M25. And you do study weekends, you do homework, and you also do case studies as well, which gives you it's a good opportunity to build up your sort of client skills as well. And after year 1, you can actually start working as an ANMA practitioner, which means you can then start charging people to fund your year 2.
Cool.
And then there's a 3rd year you can do as well. So,
what is it really good for helping?
Amatsu helps so many different sort of physical manifestations. Anything from whiplash, which obviously a lot of...
That's a big one, isn't it?
Yeah, I get lots of people in the clinic who didn't seem to have a neck. Because the seatbelt took it away in the whiplash situations. And people could have had an accident 2 or 3 years ago, but you can still help them with Amatsu, which is good. So that immediately clears away their bad shoulder problems, lower back problems, and headaches. But it's very good for most things. It's not going to take your cancer away. No. It's not going to mean you don't have to do kidney dialysis. But it will help you with structural problems, some emotional problems, and depression. It helps as well. Definitely digestive issues. It's very good with muscular problems. They were 2-week-olds. Usually if a mother's come to see me during her pregnancy, when she comes back for her very, very important listeners, post-pregnancy or post-birth treatment, and I always work on the baby. I can imagine if there was ever a time in your life, if you were ever going to think about having something done, that must be it, surely. Oh, most definitely, because you get kicked to death inside with a baby. Yes. And your back goes through hell. Sometimes the trauma of the birth. Yeah, the pelvis locks, and sometimes if the pelvis locks, the sacrum, then there's a little place behind, in the middle of your skull, called the sphenoid, and the sphenoid is almost like a seagull shape, or bird shape, but when you naturally move, it bobs up and down through cranial movement, and then it sits on top of the pituitary gland, and that milks, gently bobs up and down, squeezes the pituitary gland, and releases hormones. And if those hormones aren't released, then it means that you have hormonal imbalance in your body. and in some clients that can lead to postnatal depression. So you sort out the problem in their coccyx, where they've jammed from pushing too hard, then the depression can go away. I mean, that's just amazing.
That is
so
amazing.
it's really important to come along if you've just had a baby, or you're, know people who've had babies. We actually just realign you, and that's who puts your body back where it's supposed to be.
So where can people come and see you then? Where do you actually practice?
Well, I've got a clinic in Rickmansworth in Hertfordshire. We've got 4 practitioners there now, so there's always somebody available. And we have a website, the Amatsu Clinic.
Is that what it's called?
Yes, and that details where we have clinics, where the different practitioners.
So it's
www.theamatsu, AMATSU clinic.com, and you can find out more about us there and how to get appointments.